Hey Eric, so just a little explanation on this version. What the idea was is to create like a parallax effect with the color part of the photo slightly moving, against the backdrop of the black and white. Um, just very subtle, just to make it sort of have some interest to it. And then maybe on these boxes, there's a little, fade up type of effect that there's just a little movement. We could even go and do a counter up on the numbers. If you got some ideas, I didn't really specify to the client, but if you think of something that looks nice, um, uh, feel free to either we can talk about it or go ahead and implement it if it's easy. Um, but I do want to definitely do the little parallax effect on the images and the pop outs of this black and white versus with a color pop in it. These should be really simple. I use the image grid template from that repo that I sent you over. So um, uh, you could use that as a starting point and just add some buttons, which should be pretty straightforward. You can even basically do this as the same exact section as this with just some style updates. When you go and create, let me get this small enough so you can see. All these sidebar things, they will be classes on the section. So, you know, um, there'll be it'll be, this is template article grid. It'll be template article grid with green or three, I don't know what these are in here, but it's, whatever the value is. 3 per row, 4 per row, 5 per row kind of thing. And those will just show up so that you can use CSS to sort of target, you know, how many rows in your grid you need to do. And like I said, I would just take a jumping off point from that web admin repo that I sent you. And you can get, because in the different responsive sizes, you'll go to, if you're starting off at 6 across, it'll go down to 4 and then 2 and 3 or whatever it is for the sizes. But just start on those two, I think at first, like I said, for this thing, if we want to have this over here, what we could do is if you go into the templates, and this, I think I called it article grid. If you go into here and edit the template, there's a big old JSON array here. And this makes it easier to see if I go into like something like this. But basically, you've got different options here. So if you wanted to add a brand new option, we can go put that in and say something like, style. No buttons. Black and white hover color, which is what I was thinking of in this. If I go back to here, I was thinking basically on hover, we would just do a CSS effect to colorize, well, you do the CSS effect to black and white the image, and then on hover, you would sort of remove that effect so that it went to color, so you didn't have to upload two different images. But I think that's enough, and I'm tired. If this doesn't make sense, we can talk about it Monday, or I can write it up. But this is my end of day Friday explanation. All right, later, man. Bye.